Yay, it worked, I think.
It did?
Yeah. Yes, it looks like we are.
Oh, great. Yes, yes, yes.
Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for Witch Times Television. I'm Goddess Rhonda, and of course, we have with us our beautiful goddess Starr in her Grecian background.
Hi, everyone. Good to be here tonight. It's
We
wonderful to see you guys
apologize as
again.
always for the delay. We had some technical difficulties with working my phone, my camera, and everything else all at the same time. But I did manage to pull it off, and eventually I will seriously get the hang of it.
That's great. No, you're doing a wonderful job with it, girl. I'm glad for us to be back at all. So it's awesome.
Okay, so as always, we like to cast a circle of protection around us.
Okay, I put it on mute.
Oh, I didn't. Did I put mine on mute? Probably not.
Yes.
Let me do that. Okay. I don't hear any noise in the background, so I think it's okay. All hail, our lords and ladies of the
I'm
East.
hearing it.
What did you say?
I'm hearing it, but it's okay. Let's go on.
Okay. Are you hearing feedback? What are you hearing?
Yeah, I'm hearing feedback. I'm hearing feedback.
I don't
I'm
hear.
here. I'm I'm hearing feedback.
Okay.
I'm
I've got everything muted, so it should be okay. At least over here, everything is muted.
yeah, mine is on mute as well. I don't know.
Let me make sure on this screen my microphone is off.
Okay.
Just make sure. Yep. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Okay. We apologize if there's any feedback.
Yeah.
All hail, our lords and ladies of the East, our brothers and sisters, our brother and patron, the sacred element of air. Namaste. Divine honor, love, joy, peace, and respect to thee. We charge thee, please cause a barrier of protection through all of our walls that face your direction, from corner to corner and end to end. Let peace and protection reign herein. Thank you. So it is. So mote it be.
So it is, and so will it be. Ooh, I'm so sorry. 1 second. I forgot to light my candle. All hail, our lords and ladies of the South, my brothers and sisters, my brother and patron, the sacred element of fire. Namaste. Divine honor, love, joy, peace, and respect to thee. I charge you, please cause a barrier protection through all of our walls, our face our direction, from corner to corner and end to end. Let peace and protection reign herein. Thank you, and so it is. So mote it be.
So it is. So mote it be. All hail, our lords and ladies of the West, our brothers and sisters, our sister and patron, the sacred element of water. Namaste. Divine honor, love, joy, peace, and respect to thee. We charge thee, please cause a barrier of protection through all of our walls that face your direction, from corner to corner and end to end. Let peace and protection reign herein. Thank you. So it is. So mote it be.
All hail, our lords and ladies of the North, my brothers and sisters, my sister and patron, the sacred element of earth. Namaste. Divine honor, love, joy, peace, and respect to thee. I charge you, please cause a barrier protection through all of our walls that face your direction, from corner to corner and end to end. Let peace and protection reign herein. Thank you, and so it is. So mote it be.
So it is. So mote it be. You have your and we now bring down the divine white light from the sacred source of all well-being and fill our spaces with peace and protection always. So it is, so mote it be, and thank you. Please forgive us that we're a little bit discombobulated today.
Yeah.
It's a really long week, and so we're a little tired, but there was no way that we weren't doing the
Yeah,
show
I'm
today.
hearing a lot of feedback.
So are you in the chat room hearing any feedback? Because I don't hear any. So can somebody let me know if you're hearing any
Yeah,
feedback?
it's on my end, so it's distracting me.
And
Please.
welcome to everyone in the chat room. Monica, that's him. Good to see you. Cares not. Okay. Everyone else is saying no feedback. So maybe, are you
Okay.
sure? You did?
Yeah, I went and checked again, and yeah, mine was not muted, so I just did it. So because I was hearing a ton of feedback. Okay, now I'm not. Okay, so it should be good now. Thank you
Okay.
guys. Sorry about that.
You know what got to start? Let's have a little sip of wine. Let's chill out for a minute.
See,
So
my
anyone who's got a glass, raise it up.
mine's got grapefruit juice tonight. I didn't get chance to get to the stop at the liquor shop, but oh well.
I've got my organic wine and it's awesome. All right, we're going to jump right in here because I know we're very discombobulated a little bit today, and we are grateful for your for your patience. So today we're talking about what we like and what we don't like about the witch lifestyle. So I was really annoyed with myself, and I'm like, why did we choose this topic? Because I love pretty much everything. I had to really think about what I don't like. Your court, Starr.
It's the funny thing. I'm kind of like you, but then I said, let me check with my friends and see what they think. So then as they mentioned some things, I was like, yeah, you're right. And I kept going like this. I'm making little point notes and I'm going, yeah, you're right, you're right. But so there are a few things that they mentioned to me that I said I would love to mention to everyone and get people's insights and thoughts on it and feedback. So to see if they've experienced some of these things that they mentioned to me. So that was kind of cool. Um, but what do you want to do? You want to start with some of what you have or what I have?
All right. I'm grasping here, but I do have um, something that is my pet peeve, my personal pet peeve, because it just happened again today. You
Okay.
know, our jewelry means something. You know,
Oh, yes.
armed or it's got some sort of intention. Maybe it's protecting us. Maybe it's attracting wealth to us or helping keep us focused. But most of the witches that I know, and we say witch, we mean magician, pagan, you know, wizard, warlock, however you term yourself, whatever, all the magical people that I know are wearing their jewelry not for pretty, but because there is a set intention in it. And so, one thing I cannot stand is when someone walks up to me. You know, usually they'll catch me off guard because I've learned now to be paranoid and be looking around all the time for people who approach me. And when people approach me, I back up because the first thing they want to do is,
Oh
oh,
my
what
God.
a
And they put their
beautiful
hands out. Yes.
necklace.
They put their
Oh my
hands out and they're
God.
like,
And they grab it. Or they
invasion,
grab my
invasion.
bracelets. Where'd you get those bracelets? Now, if I see them coming, I can back away. You know, I'll back away and I say, you know what, not for nothing. Please don't be offended, but I don't like people touching my jewelry. I have certain, you know, energies in there, and I'd appreciate if you didn't touch me. But a lot of times people will like come up from behind you, or you're shopping and you're looking at stuff and they grab you before they say anything. That is something that just drives me nuts, that non magical people think that this is just for pretty. It's not just for pretty. This is, you know, my rose quartz. It keeps me calm. You know, it helps me be peaceful and compassionate. I don't want someone with their bad energy coming up and grabbing my jewelry. Now, I've learned now to put blocks and protectors and shields over my jewelry to repel other people's energies, because people don't have to touch your jewelry. They can just look at it and say, I want that, you know, and they're jealous and they're staring at it with their jealousy or with whatever their negative feelings are. They're just like
Yeah.
glaring at it, like, how can I get that? Where can I get one? Putting their energy, you have a lot of power in just in your eyes to fill an object with energy, and they just don't realize, like, okay, don't look at me, don't touch me, please. The integrity of my wonderful intentions. I'm sure you've had that happen to you.
Yes, I have. What peeves me even more regarding that is when people say that they are witches or pagan or different things, and they're the ones that come up and do it anyways. So now you're sitting there going, okay, you just said that you are a witch or whatever it is they just told me. Why would you, the very first thing you do is reach out to touch my jewelry?
Right.
You know, and the majority of time, like I spelled mines a long time ago, so that it's gotten less and less over the years of people touching it, because a lot of times now when they try to touch it, their hands go over to touch it, and then somehow they just stop right in mid strike and they kind of back up. Because I'm looking at them, and I'm like, literally, my face must be like, bitch, touch me and you will see. Do not touch my items, you know. And literally, in almost like in mid swing, they stop and they back up their hands. But something like, wait a minute, did you just say you're a witch or a pagan of some sort? Why would you think it's okay to touch? I mean, and then I have to go into this whole thing about ethically speaking, it is wise to ask permission first, and then they'll tell you no.
No, you know what? Seriously, though, this is something that was taught to people as a child. Your parents told you, if you go with your,
Yes,
don't touch
yes.
anything. Don't touch anything. You know, if you're going over, if they took us with with them to one of their friends' house, don't touch anything. So this is like ingrained, like don't touch anything. And they'll do the same thing when they come to your house. You know, I have my statues of all my, you know, my gods and my goddesses, and I have crystals and things. What a gorgeous statue. Oh my God, where'd you get it? I'm like,
No.
don't touch it. Please. Please don't touch my stuff. And I'm not being rude. It's just that there are intentions. This is not just a statue. This is a representation of deity to me. Please don't touch it. You wouldn't walk into a church and like go up to the cross on the wall and start
I
touching
know,
it,
I know.
taking it down. You wouldn't do that. But we don't get that kind of respect.
This is true. This is absolutely true. It does happen that way, because you cannot possibly see them going up to the thing and in the church and pulling or touching any of it. They have such reverence for it, and respect, so they back off. But certainly not for our things. I have no idea why. Or some people would say it's just so I'm drawn to it, and they kind of start going, and you're like, yeah, no, it's not. It's not a. I even tell it to my students and everyone that I meet. If you, ethically speaking, if you go into another person's ritual or coven or whatever it is, don't touch anything unless they tell you you can go ahead and
Right.
touch some, or ask their permission. But don't, decide to go and pick up any of their things or touch it. And people do that without thought. And I'm sure it's happened to many people, right, guys?
I'm sure it's happened
Right,
to
goddesses
many
and
of you
gods.
in there.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm glad. I see Ember Marie made a very good point, and it's not just actually, I guess, our witch stuff. She says that she's got a service dog, and she's legally blind, and she doesn't have special glasses, but people will still grab at her dog, pet the dog, at the dog when we're walking. And you know what? I love animals. I love animals. When I see someone walking on the street with a dog, I will say, may I pet your dog first? First of all, how do I know that's not an attack dog is going to take my arm off? If I go to,
Right.
I'm not just going to go grab somebody's dog
Yeah. Yeah.
anyway, but still, that to me could be somebody, that's somebody's familiar to me. I'm
Yeah,
not going
right?
to
You
go and
just
mess with
don't do that.
somebody's
Yeah.
familiar. I'm not going to do that. So that's one of my pet peeves.
So what do you think about well, okay. So then maybe we should go straight to what we like about it, and then come back to, again, like switch it up each time. How about that?
Okay,
So
that's
so
good.
so basically, I like about our lifestyle that we are all very unique people. Um, there's no set um, criteria or no set um, thing that we have to follow dictated by any one particular group of or anything like that. We each, even if we have our coven or temples or whatever it is that we have, we still can go home and practice on our own, whatever it is that
Right.
we want to do with our own unique thing or your own unique coven at home. I
Right.
like that uniqueness of who we are and our choices that we have, so we're not limited by what we can choose to do or not do. It makes us a unique individual. And
Right.
I like that because um, a lot of we've all come from backgrounds. Well, I shouldn't say all. I'm presuming that many of us have come from backgrounds where we've come from either Catholic or some Christian sect of some type, and we know that everything was a doctrine and dogmatic and in certain ways for us to do and adhere to. And here we are. I think that's what's so great about being a witch. It makes us so unique and makes us um, get to choose, you know, what
Right.
and who we are and where we can go from there and just about any aspect of who we are. I think that is it makes us very free in a sense, if you know what I mean. It makes you feel like you're free. You're free to choose, free to be that unique you know what I mean? I like that.
I like that too. And I like that you can really be your authentic creative self. I love creating. I love creating candles. I
Yeah.
love creating incense. I love doing ceremony. Best ceremony is I just love doing ceremony, you know, communing when I get on a plane. I guess what I like is I don't look at things like a regular person would. Like when I get on a plane, to me, that's communing with the element of air. And that's what I do. I talk to air, I engage with air, I ask for the wisdom that air brings and all these things. And everyone else is sitting there playing their games. And I'm having a really good conversation with air and feeling that energy. And so I guess I like being able to sense, see, and feel other realms to visit. Like we're not limited to Earth, and we don't need a plane to travel.
Right, right. Multiverses are around you. Many things that you can
Many
do to
others.
travel,
You
you know.
can't
So
even
it's
count them. Even if you wanted to count them, you would not be able to count all of the different realms in the universe. There's just so many of them.
yeah.
And so I love being a part of all of these different realms, conversing with all of the different deities, getting spirit led. I just love that. My favorite thing is when I can get together with a bunch of other magical people because then I feel, I
And
feel
the
like
energies, yeah.
good. I feel more comfortable.
Yeah, that's great. It's kind of like when you remember when we went to when you guys come to Witches Fest or when we go to Hex Fest, the fact that you're communing with so many people with the energies, the different things that be going on, it's a wonderful feeling to know, wow, it's not just me. You know what I mean? And there's a bunch of us and we're here and we're enjoying who we are. It's really wonderful energies.
It
I
really
um
is.
I was looking at the chat room really quickly, and Astromonica said something. She said, I think it's in response to one of the things either I said or about the churches. She said that's not totally true about churches. If statues are dripping water, this made me smile. If statues are dripping water, people will drink the water, even if it is coming from a backed up toilet upstairs.
Oh, wow. Okay, then.
I'm sorry, but that was just like,
Okay, then. Well, I am guessing that that would be a decision they would soon come to repent to. Oh, that's okay then. Well, you know what? Then at least I know that it's not just the magical people that have to go through that.
yeah, yeah.
You know, that's
It
I
was
don't
it
even.
was just interesting that she put that there, and I was just like, oh my goodness. Okay. All right. So the uniqueness of who we are. So what about you in terms of what is it that you like about our lifestyle?
How can I like being and feeling just otherworldly. I love being in connection. Looking at fire isn't looking at a fire to me. It's actually engaging in the element of fire, the God fire. You know, I look at things differently, and I just love that. I love the energy of it. I love the craft of it, and I love the freedom of it. I don't feel like I'm limited to
Yeah,
the
yeah.
rules and regulations and doing what people are telling me to do. I don't feel like I need someone to tell me not to steal and kill people. I know that already. Why do I
Yeah,
need you to tell me
yeah,
that?
yeah,
I don't know why
exactly.
anyone would need them to tell them that. But, you know, I like knowing that I can follow what I feel is right to do
Right, right. And
and not just be limited in fear, because for a long, many of us were brought up in the church. I was so constricted with fear. You can't do this and you can't do that. And you're
I
just a sinner
know, I
and no
know.
one can save you. And it's only by the grace of God that you're alive. And it's your fault that Jesus died because he died for your sins. You know, by the time they finished with me as a kid, I was pretty jacked up because as an immigrant, no, it's true because
It's
I went
true. You're
to
right. You're right.
the hellfire and brimstone
Brimstone.
churches where
Yeah.
they were screaming at you from the pulpit. And I'm an empath. So I'm not just hearing it, I'm feeling this guy. You know, now that I think about it, a lot of those ministers, they seem to have been enraged. They weren't like happy, like, oh, yes, we're a part of Jesus and everything is great and we just love each other. They were screaming at you. You know, I know
They were
you're a
trying to
sinner,
get their
you
points
know
across.
you're a sinner, and we're all sinners, and blah, 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 blah. And you're going to go to hell only by grace. And it was just awful. They jacked me up seriously.
Yeah, yeah. Because you used
Especially,
to actually sit back and wonder, when did I sin? I don't remember ever sitting out there. Here you are as a kid, you're thinking, when did I sin? I did. When did I do that? You know,
and
they
it's,
really drive you nuts.
you know, but especially as a psychic empath, you know, I was extremely psychic as a child. And to them, that was evil. So I thought there was something wrong with me. I was never comfortable sitting in a church. I just felt like the walls were closing in on me, probably from past life persecution. And so, because I felt like there was something wrong with me and I was evil, I went to stricter and stricter churches. At one time, I was covered pretty much in like crosses to save my evil soul because there was something
Wow.
before I finally, I'll just, you know, I won't tell the whole story, but till I finally ended up like getting shunned from a church. So after that, I said, you know what? I'm a witch. I'm going to be a witch.
Yep.
That's who
Time
I
to
am.
do your own. Time to do your own.
Time to do
Uh,
my
yeah,
exactly.
yeah. The other part that I like is that, as you mentioned, different parts of the Christianity part, we get to create our own sect. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the whatever traditions people want to call or start, whatever it is, we get to do that. We have that
Right.
choice of starting our own sect
Own tradition.
or tradition or whatever it is. And it's interesting, it's unique based on what we think is that we would like to have. So I
Right.
like that we able to create those things. And like you said earlier, we get to create so many items. We get to create so many things that becomes part of who we are, you know,
Right.
what we embody. And I like that, you know, being able to be given the opportunity to just be yourself naturally with no excuses, um, no surrendering to things that we don't want, but rather
Right.
surrendering and being free to do the things that we want to do. You know,
Right.
that means a lot to us. I like that. Actually
I like
love
that.
that.
And everyone, you know, you guys in the chat room, go ahead and let us know what you like about it, what you don't like about it. Tell us.
Yeah,
We want to hear what you have to say too.
yeah.
All
And
right, so switching back
to the
to
don't like, yeah.
what we don't like.
Yeah.
Okay, here's another pet peeve: is it bothers me that as magical people we are not more united.
Oh, goddess,
Like
yes.
with that some traditions think their way is the best way or their way is the only way, and will look down on another tradition. And to me, it's
Oh, God.
but that really bothers me that we don't have unity and that we have witch wars. I mean, I feel that we're supposed to be setting an example by doing the best we can. We're of service. But I
Right.
know all witches and magical people are of service, but as a service person, it really bothers me. It's like there's so much that you can do with that energy as magical practitioners. You can put it into trying to clear the waters. You can put it into healing the earth, healing people. And what are you doing with your energy? Squabbling.
Yeah.
Squabbling
Yeah.
over bullshit.
And a lot of it is based on egos. Remember we talk about the itises all the time. It's really the big, well, that's a big peeve of ours. So it's like,
Yes.
essentially, there's a lot of ego at play, because it's like if they're so free at everything that they've now come to the point where I can be the almighty knowing one, and I am that almighty all knowing one, and the itises, and
Yeah.
the egos are just flailing out there, and you're just like, okay, all right. That is a big deal to me, and we've seen it played out over the years, and it's not pleasant at all to go through with people like that. And it's like you said, between the witch wars, the egos, and again, the witch wars and all those things are based, to me, the bottom line is egos. It's based on a lot of that, which is why a lot of those things come out from there. You know what I mean? Not the
Yeah.
greatest, not the greatest. One
And
of
especially
mine,
if they
sorry, go ahead.
say that again. I couldn't
Huh?
hear what you said.
No,
I
go
didn't
ahead.
hear
You
what
were
you said.
finishing up that part. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying, and a lot of them are, whenever you're new at anything, when you enter something new, you want to read it and you try to follow all the rules. But you have to understand, guess what? There's more than one book. There's more than one way. There's more than one spell. There's more than one. And I remember I was doing an event and I had these little wishing wands that people could come up and use it to make a wish, and it was programmed to, whoever touched it and made a wish could get their wish. And so people were coming up and making their wishes and all, and this young girl comes up to me and says, you can't use the same one for all these people. I'm like, babe, you're a child. How long have you been doing this? You're like 10 years old. How long have you been doing this? And how long have I been doing this? I think I'm going to go with me. I don't tell me what to do. Now, that doesn't mean that I think that I'm above learning, because I'm in learning all
All
the
the
time.
time.
I
Yes,
love
I know.
learning.
I know.
Me, teach me, teach me. But don't walk up to me. If you want to come up to me and say, hey, I have a suggestion, I have an idea, or did you know this? Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's have a conversation. Do not walk up to me and judge me and say you're doing it wrong, because you will not get a pleasant response. You will not, especially if I'm having some of my goddess wine. Again, everyone raise your glasses. I know that's wine. Raise your glass with me, babe. Let's take a look
Hold
at
on,
this.
hold on. Let me get my pour some in there. All right.
Yes, you've got to have our wine. This is why it's our midnight margarita show. It's legal for us to sit here and drink during the show. We've made full
All right.
disclosure.
Mm,
Oh, that's so good.
yes.
We should do this more often, like just get together, just even if it's not just a formal show, just to get together and have wine and chat with everybody.
Yeah.
Just a wine and chat. So anyway, that's my pet peeve. What's
Okay.
yours?
Okay. Mine, I have a few actually. Um, Part of one is people's ignorance of who and what we are.
Yeah.
They've already presumed who we are, and of course we are evil. When they hear that we are a witch, and they back up, and they do a lot of presumptions and all the different things. Um, and rather than seeing us as human beings and let's go with it from there, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um, People have a tendency to just presume and either come at you in, like I remember, I think I mentioned to you guys this one time. I'm walking down on St. Mark's, and this man saw my pentagram, um, and he was sitting in a restaurant on the side, and he looked up, and no, he was coming up this right by this the restaurant there, and he looked at me and he goes, "Oh my God, the devil!" And he was like doing like this, and I'm saying like, "Yes, be afraid, be very afraid." And the people in the restaurant on the side that had heard the whole thing, they were cracking up. They were like dropping. They were like, they can't believe this. And he was literally running to the other side of the street. A car almost hit him because he's trying to run to the other side of the street away from me.
Wow.
I'm just like, this is New York City, man. Come on. Get
Yeah.
over yourself and the whole thing. But people, people are so silly. But at least, being in New York, um, we can pretty much be out if we want to be or not, and be able to walk the street and que sera sera kind of a thing. But yeah, I'm sure it's happened to you guys where people come up to you and judge you based on those things, knowing who they think you are.
Oh my goodness. I had two funny stories to tell you about that. I used to have, and I miss it so bad. I lost it. My pentagram with the amethyst in it that I wore all the time. And I loved it so much. And I guess it was time for it to go. I have to get a new one. But anyway, I went into I think it was like a fast food place. I know I was buying food. So maybe it was like a McDonald's or something. I don't remember exactly what it was. I'm pretty sure it was a fast food place. And I have on my pentagram. I didn't even think about it. Well, what are the odds that my order rang up to $6.66?
Oh my God, it's evil, evil, evil.
The girl behind the counter
She
freaked
lost it, right?
out. Oh my God. She's like, oh my God. Oh my God. You're evil. You're evil. I can't believe you came in here. No, she was screaming. She completely
Oh my
freaked.
goddess. Are you kidding
Like,
me?
can I just have my food, please? Here's your $6.66. Give me my food. Yeah, I'm not going to stand here and justify
You
myself. But
lost
what are
your
the
mind?
odds? What are the
Oh my
odds?
gosh. I thought she would have held herself more, you're working,
Not
good, honey.
only that, he lost every sense of professionalism. And I started to say, you know what, bring your manager over here because I don't appreciate being called in. I just decided, you know what, let me just take my stuff and go.
Embrace the shit and walk away.
Let me just walk away because who knows what the manager is going to do. And, I don't know if this is a pet peeve actually or something I enjoy is when people get that kind of impression. Once I had this, I have a little phallic symbol, a little brass one that I will often
I
wear.
remember seeing it.
And I usually have it hidden, like I'll have it covered up over something, mainly because, I don't want to offend any old ladies or people because, I basically have a penis hanging from my neck. And so, but I'm really very careful usually with what I'm wearing. And one day in my old apartment building, I got in the elevator and I guess I wasn't paying attention. And this old lady got on and she's like, and she just turned around. She just turned to the elevator doors like praying for the doors. I was like, what's your problem? And I looked down and it's like, oh, oops, excuse me. Sorry about that.
Hey, man. She was the one who was looking.
And you know what? I know that I was the topic of her conversation for the rest of the day. Oh my God, I got the elevator. And this woman, she had a penis on her neck. Oh, that was funny. So I don't know if I actually get a sense of enjoyment sometimes out of shocking people. I know maybe that's me, but I don't care.
It's just what it is.
It is. It's just what it is. Okay, what now we have to do something we like about it, right?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Let's see. You know what I like? I like the fact that um, I think for some reason we feel as if we've got complete carte blanche to wear just about anything we want. I even put up a meme about it on Facebook where I said we going to a particular place and pretty much most people would dress casually, but us we're like Ta-da! And we'll come dressed. It's the truth. And I'm just like, this is so me because we will come dressed in full regalia, wreath
Absolutely.
crown, and we'll step and we're like fully ready to just watch the queen come down.
Yes, that's right. And walk in like the goddesses that we are.
Yes, we feel so empowered and everything to just be dressed in full regalia all the time, every time. And people would be, and I'll be on either in my car or on the subway or the bus, and I would be dressed completely. And everybody's like, you can see they want to ask you, is it a costume? They'll ask you, costume party or different things. I'm like, no, it's my sabbat. Or this, it's Litha, or it's Ostara, or Beltane. And they're like, what's that? My sabbat. I'm a witch. And I'm going to Tompkins Square Park and I'm going to be dancing around the maple in full regalia. I love it. And we just do it.
It
It's
is. It's
wonderful.
something that we do.
Complete carte blanche to do whatever we want, to dress however we wish to dress. And it's wonderful.
And
I
it
love
is
that.
wonderful. If you want to have polka dot hair, have no, we won't look at you twice. We're like, oh,
Yeah. Or draw items when on our faces. We draw things,
oh yeah,
symbols of the spiral drawings or the different things. And I love that whole, again, I think it's a freedom of who we are, expressing who we are, and it's part of our religion or our spirituality. And here we are, and we're like, I'm embracing the goddess in me. Yes, so that part I love. Yes. What about you?
I love that part too. I love that feeling of freedom, and I don't have to justify myself to anyone or validate my belief systems with anyone. But I especially enjoy, I like working with plants and crystals. I really enjoy that. I enjoy the energies of the stones. To me, they're not just rocks, they're my friends. They help me, they fix things, there's spirits inside of them. I think I love just seeing the spirit in everything and feeling, a shower isn't just a shower to me. It's communing with the element of water that's harmonizing with the element of fire to give me a nice warm shower and balance me out. It's a simple shower is a magical experience to
It
me.
is. It is.
You
It's
know,
as you said that, I remember, it wasn't Bob Marley that said, um, the magic of rain is either you're getting wet or you're experiencing all of that water in its glory. And I'm
right,
like, we're experiencing all that water in its glory. We're not just getting wet.
right.
So there.
Exactly. Like the sun isn't just the sun.
Yeah.
The sun brings wealth and courage and strength
And
and good health
happiness.
and happiness, and it shines and rains that energy down upon us. So I just love that I don't see things as regular people do. I take appreciation. I feel the energy of the sun and the different planets and talk to my plants and feel their energy. I just got this giant fern because I wanted a fern because ferns represent wishes and riches and good health, all really good things. So I went and got this giant fern, and it had been bugging me because I'd been looking at them and looking at them, like, get a fern, get a fern. I go and get this fern, I put it up on my shelf, and I'm like, what's your name? And it's like Agatha. And I'm like, well, hello there, welcome. My plants are my friends. They talk to me. Now, there are mundane people that are like, maybe you need to go and see somebody about your friend Agatha. And my attitude is like, shut up, or I'll have Agatha put a root on your ass.
Actually, as you said that, I think, did you mention that ferns are for prosperity as well?
Yes, riches.
Yeah, okay, there you go. I didn't remember you saying that, but yes, they're great for that.
So yeah, I like that. I like that we see beyond just the physical. That means something to me. That's why, and I don't get me wrong, I am not saying anything disparaging towards vegans or vegetarians. But to me, when they're like, oh, you wouldn't eat your dog, why would you eat a goat or a lamb or a rabbit
Oh
or
my
a chicken?
goddess. Oh my goddess,
And
really?
me, as a witch, to me, that is a form of bigotry because the plants are, if anything, more important. As much as I love animals, we can live without animals. We cannot live
Oh,
without
I
plants.
lost my thing. Okay.
They provide us with oxygen. They provide us with food. They change the environment. We can have like a rainforest. And so to me, and they have spirits that are alive. There are spirits in there that you can talk to. And nobody gets treated more cruelly than a plant. The same people that will go and march for animals, which I am all for. There should be no animal cruelty. I'm 100% behind that. But those same people who have no problem snatching a carrot right out of the earth, ripping its roots out, and chomping down on it while it's alive. So to me, what are we going to do? Starve to death? Okay, they can't eat the plants, can't want to eat the animal. What am I going to do? So to me, it just bugs me that they aren't cognizant of the spiritual soul of the plants that they eat. And I heard one of them say, oh, plants give themselves willingly to us to eat. I'm like, really? Did they tell you that? Did you
Okay,
have this
I
conversation with them? I'm thinking you didn't. And you're just trying to soothe your own conscience. You can't have it both ways. That to me, I really do think is a form of bigotry. Don't come and talk to me because I love animals. I've got my familiar sitting there right there looking at me. But I also recognize plants as sentient beings.
yeah.
And that is something we as witches recognize. We're very respectful when we cut a branch or pull a plant out. We're respectful of that. And we do it with love and respect. I always bless their souls and
Yeah.
thank them so much. And I
For
try to
the
make
for the
them
for the nutrients, you thank them for the nutrients that they're giving you. Same thing that you should do.
absolutely,
Same thing that you should do with meat. Even if you don't, even if you buy it
absolutely.
at Trader Joe's or wherever you buy it, still say thank you, because
Thank
you're not
you.
doing it to be wasteful. You're doing it as a nutrient for the body. It's simple.
That's
Just
right.
respect. That's all.
Just
You know.
respect. And I try very hard even to numb them, to give them like spiritual anesthesia with my mind so they're not feeling any pain. So that's a pet peeve of mine because there are people that I've seen posts in the witch chat rooms where they're like, a real witch wouldn't eat meat. A real witch would be a vegan. You can't call yourself a witch if you're not a vegan. And I'm like,
Oh
you
my
call
goddess. Oh my
yourself a
goddess.
witch
No.
if you are a vegan
Oh
and
my goodness.
saying that it's okay to torment plants but not animals. You're the one that's
Yeah.
not not me.
See, honestly, that became my pet peeve when people brought it up as a topic. It should what how I eat and how you eat should not be brought up as a topic in the conversation, honestly, because it's our own choices with life, period. And it has nothing to do with your religion or different things. It's your belief is what you believe is right for you. I have nothing to say against it, and you shouldn't have anything to say about how I eat. We are omnivores. That's the way our teeth was made. We have teeth for a reason, the way that it is, because we are
Right.
omnivores. It's just a way of life. If that does not
Right.
suit you, that's your choice not to do that. But for me, my choice is I'm an omnivore. I eat what I want to eat. If and the only way I would not eat it is because I'm like, oh, this is not for me. Like when we had, they're trying to give me gator in New Orleans. I'm like, no, 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 I can't do the gator thing. It's just not my thing. To me, gator is like eating snake. I can't eat snake. I can't eat gator or turtle. I don't want it. That's just me. And I am that omnivore to the death. But I will not be eating those things. No. It's okay. Again, my choice. Just based on my what I'm willing to eat or not eat.
You know what? But you know what though? That's okay.
But then that's my choice of it.
That's your choice. I respect everybody's choice. to eat what they want to eat, and that's perfectly okay.
I consider it okay. So there you go. And if then that's the only time it at all should be brought up as a conversation is if we're trying a new dish or whatever it is, you know, like in New
Okay,
Orleans
wait,
when we're sitting there,
hold on,
we're like, mm-mm,
hold
mm-mm.
on. I have got to stop what I am doing, and I have to raise my glass to Astro Monica because
What'd she say? What
Astro
did she say
Monica,
now? Because she got me
she's,
laughing like
she's
crazy.
so funny. She says, I wouldn't eat my dog, but I'd participate in cannibalism if stranded on a desert island, especially if some vegan was annoying me. Cheers to you, Goddess Astro Monica. That was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh, and somebody said, remember that one that she said earlier about the toilet water? Somebody said
Yeah.
right behind her, that's holy toilet water for you. I love our people in the chat room. They're awesome because they've got each other's backs. She said, that's holy toilet water for you. You
Absolutely.
guys are awesome.
You guys are awesome.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then we've got, okay, so are we up to the good
Are we
things?
going back to the good? Okay, so we go back to the good things now. I have a lot more on the bad side than the good side, I'll tell you. I do, because then my friend started going into all these peeves, and it like ended up being this long list. But
Right.
okay. So okay, you go ahead first because I'm trying to think of what's good. What else is
Okay.
good?
So what I also love is one of my favorite things to do when I actually have the time to indulge myself is I love to do shamanic journeying. I
Ah,
love to
nice.
go to different places, go and ride with the dolphins and play with the lions. And I love that. I love doing shamanic journeying. That's one of my favorite things to do is to go somewhere else and to visit, the different realms. I love that.
That is
Sometimes I
wonderful.
actually get snatched into different realms, usually by my deities that are trying to teach me something where they'll just like, I'll tell you, just very recently, Goddess Starr and I, we both do past life regressions on people.
Yeah.
And I like to go sometimes into my own past lives, but I don't do it very often, usually because I'm so busy trying to get through this current lifetime that I don't have time to indulge myself with that. But just the other night, maybe about a week ago, you ever are so exhausted that you just can't really sleep. You're just kind of laying there in a daze, like you want to sleep, but you're just like, everything is surreal, because you're just so exhausted. And I'm just laying there. And all of a sudden, when I do past life regressions, I use a staircase. You go down the staircase into this room of glowing light, and there's all these doors, and you pick a door. And so I'm laying there, and literally all of a sudden I was going down the stairs. It wasn't by choice. Something was pulling me down these stairs, through this room, and out a door, like almost flung me out the door. And I'm standing there, and I'm in front of the ocean, and it's just like looming over me. And she says in a female voice, I am the original goddess, and the earth is my cradle. And I was like, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, you are. You are the original goddess. But then I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? When you think of water, we are made of most of like 75%
98%,
water.
isn't it? I think it's 98% water.
The earth is covered like 75% of water. When we are in the womb, we gestate in water. Our bodies are, and I'm like, she's right. She is actually the original goddess of this realm. And I'm like, wow, and I think she was saying that to say, you know what, you talk to all these other goddesses. I'm the OG up in here. Okay. I'm the
Talk
OG.
to me. Talk to me.
Talk to me. You want something, you need to come and talk to me about it. And so I started thinking, and I'm like, wow, you know what? I've always looked at the elements as just elements, but they are actually, now I refer to them as the primordial gods and goddesses, and that the elements that we use, like this candle burning, is are pieces of them or aspects of them. But they're the originals of this realm, and I believe we first need to go to them as they are of this realm. If you think about it, air. We need air to breathe.
Yep.
Air is a god. Without that, we wouldn't be here if we didn't
Exactly.
have that air. We didn't have the water, we would die quickly because we are water. The earth actually gives us the very ground that we walk on and build our houses on, and provides us with food, with plants, and feeds the animals and feeds us. And without fire, we'd freeze to death. So if you think about this realm of the earth, they are the primordial original gods and goddesses. And I feel, this is just my opinion, guys, y'all do what y'all want to do, no judgment for me, but for me, I have begun to venerate them because I don't feel that many people do. And first of all, I thought it was an honor that I got snatched down there, but the way she said it was,
Yeah.
I am the original goddess and the earth is my cradle. It's like, yes, ma'am. Okay. You go on with your bad self. But she's right.
She put you on notice, girl.
She put me on notice. So now I've got my salt water and my candle going, and but I look at them because we're always looking outwardly, the various goddesses and gods of culture. And then I started thinking, if you think about it, when you think about the different cultures like Norse and Celtic, Greek, Roman, they all have very similar, even in the Hinduism, they all have similar gods and goddesses with similar stories and points of origin. And they all represent a various element. If you think about it, there's many of them, but there's only one element. So are they serving the many as far as the element goes, or is it the element serving the many, or them serving the one? And so what I was thinking about was, if all these different cultures have so many similarities, maybe they are delegates or designees, still gods and goddesses and divine people, but designees of the primordial gods and goddesses. Because there's a million goddesses that represent water, millions that represent fire, and they go out to their different regions and represent those areas. Whereas what they're really doing, though, they are aspects and of service to the primordial gods and goddesses of this realm. And so I just love that I got snapped, because everything has to be logical to me, and it made perfect sense.
Yeah.
It made perfect sense. So to be called by and lectured by the primordial gods and goddesses of this realm that keep our behinds alive and sheltered, that to me was an honor. But I also was like, you know what? And I apologize, like I didn't look at it that way. And I will be venerating you, from now on. I'm going to be venerating
That's
you.
really interesting. I'm glad that you just found out a lot of those different things, because that's the other part that I like. I was going to say another part, but then as you mentioned that, that's one of the things I like. The fact that we learn every day, we learn something new, or new ideas of what we have to learn next, or they're teaching us something new that we did not know before, or they're taking it even further than what they've taught us before. I like that we are always learning or open to learning, and that we don't know everything, because no one human being knows everything. So I think it's wonderful. One of the things that I love is ritual. I always used to, years and years ago, I used to think of ritual as a chore, kind of, wow, it's to be, the monthly one, or the Sabbat one, or different things. And now I literally do ritual every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a chore. It is just, I do a ritual every morning, whether I work with an angel or a different god or goddess or whatever it is. Every single morning I do the ritual. It takes about 10-15 minutes, and it just makes me feel so, I don't even know how to say it. It just makes me feel so empowered. And I feel like I see this inner light, and the sun and the stars, everything all at once. And it's just such a beautiful, beautiful feeling. And Better than when I used to be able to go to church and you walk in there and the priest, the pastor is just like
Right.
screaming down at you with that anger that you said. And instead, I get all of those things just from my ritual in the mornings. And I
Right.
love doing that every single day. And it's not a chore. This is just what I have to do. It's what I have to do. And it's all part of me. And it's an awesome feeling.
It is an awesome feeling. I start my day off that way as well. It's just an awesome feeling, and it's actually healthy and good for you to start that
Yeah,
way.
yeah. I think it's to me, it's a lot of well, this is a pet peeve of mine, and I didn't even write that one down. But it's I find that there are the fad witches, or I don't even call them witches. The people who call themselves witches, but they do it as a fad, or they only practice it when they meet with us in class, or they only practice it when they come to the full moons or the sabbats. But every other day, it's like if they're not doing anything to be that witch or practicing as a witch. And
Right.
it's just if nothing else, take a page from the Christians, and they are really fervent about their beliefs and their faith, and they no matter what, say anything that you want to say, they will push their faith on you, and they'll all of these different things because they believe it so much. And if
Right.
we are only practicing fair weather witches, then that's not really who we are. Then you know what I mean. It has to you have to live and breathe and eat who this what you are. It is a living breathing thing, and it's all part of who you are, and you have to accept all aspects of it. You know what I mean. So
Right.
it's a big pet peeve with me when I see people, they what I call the part time, or not even part time, they're less than part time witches.
Well, they called it like they used to call fair weather Christians the ones that only came to church on Christmas and
Mm,
Easter.
same thing, yeah,
It's the same thing.
yeah.
It's the same thing as that. Okay, my next pet peeve are people who, just because I'm a psychic, and I know you've gotten this question already, if you're so psychic, how come you haven't won the lottery?
I'm sorry, I'm gonna laugh.
No,
That one.
it doesn't work that way. First of all, most witches who are of service, we don't even, and sure, I love money as much as everyone else, and I work hard to get it. But how many I don't know many witches who are really truly casting to win a lottery. We might do, um, prosperity magic or things like that, but it's just not really our mindset. But more importantly, it just doesn't work that way. Or if they walk up to you, well, what am I thinking? You're psychic. What am I thinking? And I'm like, you know what? I don't know what you're thinking, but I can tell you what you're feeling because I'm an empath. Then I can run it down for you. And then they're like all upset because I told them exactly what they're feeling. So, but still, it's just, little stupid questions like that will drive me nuts. What do you
Yeah,
think? What am I thinking? How come we haven't won the lottery? What's the
that's
lottery number?
just it's just stupid, and those I kind of walk away from because I'm just either that or I'm gonna bitch slap them because I'm like you need to get your stupid ass away from me because I can't do stupid. I just cannot do stupid. I just can't. You know. But oh, then again, too, you kind of shock them sometimes. I've done that to people where they're pulling that stunt with me, and I kind of go, "No, I'm not going to be doing a reading with you, but I will tell you certain things that I did not want to tell you." And then you tell them a few choice things, and but what you saw that they did, and you start naming a day and a time of when they did so and so and so. And they said, "That Jerry guy, you're not going to get him." And they're looking at you like, "What?" I said, the guy named Jerry, you're not getting him. Guaranteed. kind of
There you go.
I said, "You were trying to get him, right?" And they're looking at you with shock on their faces, and they're like, "Yeah, you're not getting him." Walk away.
I'm just looking here
Chat room.
in our chat
I know.
room.
And my
I
Monica said to me, "Star, your thing fell down." I was like, "Darn."
Oh
She said,
wow, what
she
happened to
said,
your
"I
goodie
don't know. My
bag?
son is the one who put it up for me." And I was just like, great, great. I don't have the thing for it, so he did the best he could to put it up. And it came down. She goes, Starr, now I can see all your books. You darn shocker. You like to read. Considering she knows I love to read.
I didn't even realize it fell down.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll try again next time.
That's okay. It's that your energy is so powerful.
Yeah, right.
It just couldn't stand up. It fell down because it was overwhelmed by your magical goddess energy.
Not only that, my books are like, excuse me, you don't want anybody to see us? Hell no. We're standing strong and proud.
All right, so are we up to what we like? We just did
I
what we
think
don't like.
yeah, so now we under don't like. Oh, wait a minute. Did we just do don't like?
No, we just did don't like. Now we're up to what we like.
Okay, so what we like. I did the ritual part that I liked. No, didn't I just say I like the ritual? And then we did the don't like, right? Okay. So we back to okay. I'm trying to think. You want to go first because I'm trying to think.
Yes. Okay. So what I do like is I love the witchy magical clothes that we wear. I just love that. Maybe it hasn't changed. Although one day I love the show Project Runway. And so one day I would like for them, because they always will take something like a postal worker's uniform and make it more modern. I would like for them to take like one of our witches' outfits and make it modern, just to see what they come up with. But I love our witchy clothes. I love our witchy clothes. I love our witchy jewelry. I just love the witch fashion. I love the fashion thing.
I love that too because I'm telling you, when we have our different events and everything, whether it's Witches Fest or Hex Fest, do you see the style, the clothing that come forward? I mean, we
Yeah.
rock to the point where I think remember when some of the newspapers started saying the witchy styles of Witches Fest. They started calling it so every year they have taking pictures of the different styles of people showing up in
Right.
the different outfits, and it's our time. It's kind of like our red carpet, which is love
Right.
dressed in regalia. So it's just here we are at whatever event, and we dress in the witchy regalia style, and we come out. I love it. It's
Exactly.
awesome.
I do. I love that. I love
And we
the
dress
witchy,
any way that we.
all of
That's the
it.
part I like is that we dress any way that we want. We create our own style. We literally do because you know how you can always tell what clothing is in style in general with people.
Right.
With us, you have no idea what we're coming with because we don't dress with what's in style. We dress with what's in style for the witches. We dress in style for our own selves. We create our own thing. So it's kind of cool.
We do. So that's one of the things that I love about it. What about you?
See, now you had me talking about the clothing, and now I got so into that one. Um, that's I think one of well the fact that we have our unique sense of style, but along with that, um, mentioned unique, there's different sets. Um, I love the fact that we can practice solitary, and it should not be or is not something that anyone should be looked down upon. Even though, unfortunately, a lot of people look down on that as not being a good thing. We are all solitary. So, to me, as far as I'm concerned, I love the fact that we can practice solitary as a witch, and it is our right, our
Yeah.
goddess given right to be able to do so. And so, in other words, you can practice as many of us, yes, and have great energy with many of us, or you can practice alone and still have wonderful energy.
Right. You know, Astro Monica brought up a good one too, where she said she doesn't like being judged for taking medication or seeing a doctor and not just using a spell or ritual to heal herself. I believe that our magical medicines and Western medicines, and they
Oh,
can
right,
work
yeah.
together harmoniously. Like you can spell your medication to work more effectively. You can put a spell on it to make it work more effectively, enhance what it does to heal you better. They work together. And so, someone just saying, oh, well, you've got this wrong with you, go home and drink some chamomile tea. Come on, guys. Really? You have to do what you have to do to save yourself, but there's no way that you can't incorporate, there's no reason why you can't
Can't combine the two, yes.
incorporate
Yeah.
both of them. First of all, most of the medications on the market are synthetic plants. They realized what plants did what, they broke it down chemically, and then they turned it into a chemical that they could mass market cheaply. So those medications, all usually most of them came or were inspired by plants
Yes, it's true.
herbs and herbal medications. And so there's nothing wrong with taking something. I mean, if you have high blood pressure, what are you going to say? Oh, well, I'll just take a chance and try to magically bring it down and hope I don't have a stroke. What you do is you take your medication and then you do other forms of self healing to calm yourself down so that you don't need those medications anymore. But I'm not going to allow myself to be judged because I pop some ibuprofen if my knee is hurting. That's what it's there for. Why should I suffer?
I
But
agree
she's
with that.
right.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely
She
right.
is. She's right.
Okay, so let's see. I'm still not. I'm
So what
stomping on
else?
the.
What are we still on pet?
Okay, if we're good with the don't like, I think I have something already. And on the liking part, I'm not. I don't have as many. Okay, um,
Okay.
I don't like that when I first um got into the witchy world in New York City. I I was very naive, I think, because I had always believed that all witches were very open-minded and they didn't see your race. They just saw that you were a witch and you were welcomed among everyone. And that was true to an extent. And then I began to realize that um, there was there were a lot of racist. Basically is racism, and people look down on you if you are a witch based on your race. If you're a black person and you're a witch, they're like, "What do you mean? Aren't you a voodoo practitioner or a hoodoo practitioner?" And you say, "No, I'm not drawn to that. I'm a witch." And they do judge you based on that. And basically, no matter what it is, it's based on your skin color. Because if you were white, they will not say to you, "Are you a voodoo priestess or a hoodoo priestess?" You know what I mean? They would just say, you can just say you're a witch, and no one judges you on that part. Um, so
Right.
I was naively thinking that we were more open minded, but as time has gone, as a matter of fact, I think they were more open minded before. Now it just feels like it's gotten worse, if that's even possible in 2019. Um,
Right.
there's a lot of racism among the witches, and I really thought we were more evolved than most people because that's the concept of who we are. We saw ourselves as people who have been here many a lifetimes. That means we reincarnated as many races, many genders, or
Right.
beings, or whatever it is. So if we've been all of these different things, why would we be um, prejudiced or racist against what you once were? So
Right.
that's how I've always seen it. But then my eyes were open to a lot of it, and I had to uh, see it for what it is.
Right.
That was, it's not just a pet peeve. That became it was very disappointing to realize that we so many people judge each other based on things like that, which is kind of sad.
Right.
It was very disillusioning.
I agree 100. That is really disillusioning.
Yeah, and we criticize ourselves based on that because no matter what, a lot of it comes back. Bottom line is the racial issues, and then it goes from there and up. And I had to kind of say, "C'est la vie." That is life. It's what if that's, and the fact that I had to accept that as part of life kind of
Hmm.
sucks.
Right. That's true. Was very disheartening.
It is.
Well, very disheartening. I just, that I would have thought that people would realize we, especially as witches, we've already been everything.
That's what
We've
I
already been
mean.
the
That's what, I couldn't wrap my mind around that part of it. That if we think like that, how could we be so racist against one another? I that still kind of can't wrap my mind around that part. So
right.
it's kind of disappointing.
That was just very disheartening
Yeah.
to me as well, because I've had a lot of people turn on. When we had a great show with Catherine
I
Honorable.
remember that. Yes, I
You
remember
know,
that.
and I took a lot of heat,
Yeah.
on, and I couldn't understand what the problem was.
Yeah.
But
I think we had that show, we had to disable the comments.
yeah, I had to disable
It
the
got it got
had to be disabled.
we've never had to do that ever. That was
No,
the very first time we had to do that. And I was so shocked. I was just like, when you were discussing it, we were like, how? Why? We couldn't we were so puzzled by it, that
right,
we were like, wow, it's, no matter, it's one thing to dislike a person, um because you don't like that particular person, but to
right,
dislike them based on the fact that they're a particular race and they're practicing. And I hate to tell people this, we are the race of human beings, period. That's one race.
right,
So the fact that this one race could have such negative thoughts about many different aspects of that one race makes no sense in my head. And I still can't wrap any around. And we're very logical people. Things have to make logical sense to us, and it's just this part does not make any logical sense.
no, it's not making any sense.
you know but
That
yeah.
only one person can teach you something. A lot of my wisdom, and as I'm sure a lot of your wisdom, is actually spirit led. Where we are guided by the divine to do certain things. They teach us certain lessons, teach us spells and magics, and give us wisdom and things like that. I don't bother to question what culture they came from. I'm grateful when any of them come to tell me. So I was grateful to get snapped by the primordial water goddess who told me, just basically just like, this is who I am, and get used to it. I'm grateful for that. But I don't understand. And I think I think what it really boils down to is a need to feel superior.
Yeah, and again, because I think you're right about that part. I think it's not even so much to feel superior as to much they feel so inferior to the whoever it is that they have to find someone or some way to elevate themselves in some way, and that's their way of doing it. It's not even feeling superior anymore. Just, can I just be better than anybody? So I will pick a particular race and I'm better than them naturally. So it doesn't really matter. I don't have to be superior. I am. You know what I mean? And it's it's just a very sad thing to watch. And for who are we to say to someone that, I don't care if we believe in reincarnation or that you've been many races before. Right now you're in this white skin and you're not allowed to practice what we consider belongs to us. Or witches have basically witches from different regular backgrounds have actually said, I don't have anything to learn from you because you're black. You can't teach me to be a witch. I have to go to a white person to learn how to do that. They've
Uh,
said those words. So I looked at them and I'm like, okay, I don't do stupid. I can't teach stupid. So you go on with your bad self. You go to that white person and you do that. More power to you. And but again, like I said, it's kind of sad and very disheartening to watch that we can't seem to go beyond that human race thing, and
Right.
and stop seeing the skin color on the outside. We still, if you cut us, we all bleed red. Slightly beneath the skin, it's all red. Doesn't change the color of anything like that, you know.
Yes. I 100%.
And a lot of people are always of different races, if you want to, or rather, I shouldn't say races, of different colors, because of one race here, um, have had to defend themselves for their beliefs because people judge them based on their skin color.
Right. Yeah,
Kind
they
of,
do.
kind of very sad. Sad.
Well, it is sad. And also in not recognizing that we follow different rules. So, for example, so I do a lot of Hindu ceremonies. And in Hindu ceremonies, you put out food as your offering, whatever it is, chocolate or fruit or candy, whatever it is, you put it out. And at the end of the ceremony, it's called prasad. It's blessed during the ceremony and you eat it to get the blessings. And so someone had said, "Oh, what do you do with the offerings when you're done?" I said, "We eat them." Well, I never heard of that. You're not supposed to eat them. You're supposed to do this with them or do that. So, well, that's your tradition of whatever it is you're supposed to do, and rock on with it. I'm not judging you if you want to go out and juggle it or throw it to the birds or take a bath in it. I don't care, but don't tell me I'm doing something wrong when you know nothing about the
But
spiritual.
yeah, exactly. And I think that's the problem. I think they people forget that we're being spirit led, and if we're being spirit led, that being is higher than you are. So you, as that person, human race, human being, telling me what I can and cannot do and what's right and what's wrong. In the meantime, spirit's looking at them and going, "Would you listen to this little one? They actually believe they know better than me." You know.
Right.
I'm just, yeah, it's just appalling, all of it, and
It is. And you
but
would just think, because we are so energetically sensitive. To me, energy is the most, what energy you're putting out is going to determine whether or not we're friends or not. Not your skin color, not your hair, not your weight, not your height. I don't care about any of those things. Your energy will determine if you and I are going to be associates
or not. Yeah,
or not. And so it bugs me that these are people that are still looking at outside accoutrements. And I'm like, you're supposed to be a witch. Don't you feel the energy of people? Do you see
but
energy? Don't
that's
you
the
work with
part.
energy, manipulate energy?
That's the part that I'm going to say. You just said the magic words. You're supposed to be a witch. Don't you see? So I don't think of them as witches. I really don't, because if they cannot see beyond the skin color, then to me they're not. Because a true witch should be able to sense beyond that. I'm sorry, they should.
Right. I agree with you. I totally 100% agree with you.
But
And
that's
people,
just my belief, okay?
yeah,
Everybody else's belief could be
that's
whatever.
clear.
That's my belief.
This is our belief, and we work based on our own belief systems, and we are not locked in, limited by, or restricted
To any one
by
particular
anyone
thing, yeah.
else's belief system. We're not. So don't be afraid, especially if you're a newbie, don't be afraid to question everything, to get out there and really expand your knowledge of different cultures, and different magics. And if someone says to do something and don't be like, "Oh, well, that's not the way I was taught to do. I have to do it this way or it's not right." Okay, don't limit yourself like that. Learn as much as you can. That's got to start and I are constantly learning. Constantly, we love learning. We're life learners,
Not
but
giving
there
it
are
up, yeah.
people, they get stuck. And so what I tell myself about the people that get stuck in like one thing, it's like, okay, maybe this in this lifetime they are only supposed to study and master this particular thing, which is cool. I can dig it.
Yeah.
But just don't judge me because I'm not doing things
The way you are.
exactly the
Yeah.
way you do them or the way you were taught to do them or anything like that.
This is
But
true.
all in all, despite all of my pet peeves, I love
Love being
being
a
a
witch.
witch. I
Hey!
love the lifestyle. I love the magical feel of it. I love all of it.
I won't, in other words, I won't give it up for anything.
No, I can never go back.
Despite all my pet peeves, I won't give it up because those pet peeves, just like the last one we discussed, it's just our pet peeves, and we're not here to convert anyone to our belief with it.
Right.
Do your own thing, move on with your bad self.
Do your own thing and be proud and go on with your bad self. That's exactly right. All right. I know it's getting late where everybody is. Hopefully, next week we'll have the bugs ironed out of this and we can get started more on time. But we appreciate you guys so much. We're just so glad
Yeah,
to
we
be back.
glad to be back here with you
Kind of
guys.
started. We started off like really tired and stumbling over our words, but you guys, your energy, your enthusiasm, your humor, your wisdom has just snapped us out of it, and we just love you, and we so appreciate that you join us each week. It means everything to us.
Yeah. Anyways, we bid you merry meet,
Merry
merry
part,
part, and merry
and
meet
we
again.
again.
And we'll see you guys again soon.
Oh yeah, and don't forget, please, again, please subscribe to our channel.
Oh, yes, yes,
Please
yes, please do.
come back. Next week we've got the fabulous Lilith Dorsey will be
All right,
joining us
yes,
next
yes.
week, and she wrote like a whole book on love spells. So anybody out there with love issues, next week is your week. Write down your questions to
Yep.
post them in the chat room. And I believe she's also going to talk about her
Her,
Afro Caribbean.
yeah, Afro Caribbean magics.
Uh huh.
She's I forgot what else. Oh, and little I think she said a couple of new ideas and thoughts on books that she maybe have coming up. So we'd love to see you guys there. All right. Oh, somebody
Yes.
says I need my love issues fixed. Yes, yes, please do. Come
Yes.
with all your
Next week,
questions and
write your
thoughts and ideas
questions
about love.
down. Write your questions down because she's like the love spell guru. So
Yes.
write everything down. Come see us next week, and let's get your love issues taken care of with the awesome goddess Lilith Dorsey. Okay, now with that said, merry
Merry
meet,
meet, merry
merry
part,
part, and
and
merry
merry
meet
meet
again.
again.
Good night, everyone. We
Good night,
thank you
everyone. Take care.
and we honor and cherish you. And we'll see you next week.